Prior to installing the TR Flex gripper ring, please follow the instructions for cutting the pipe in the TR Flex brochure. Start by inspecting and removing dirt, excess asphalt coating, or other material in the heel retaining groove and gasket seat that can prevent the gasket from being properly installed. The gasket must be wiped clean with a clean cloth, flexed, and then placed into the socket with the rounded bulb end entering first. Loop and work the gasket into the heel retainer groove and space the loops around the joint evenly. Pull out the loop about 3 to 4 inches high to adjust the gasket. Once the loops are pulled and evenly spaced, push the looped gasket into the bell. A rule of thumb to use for the number of loops is, the first digit of the pipe size is the number of loops needed. When installing tightened joint pipe in sub-freezing weather, the gaskets, prior to their use, must be kept at a temperature of at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit by suitable means, such as storing in a heated area. After the gasket is installed, check to ensure the gasket is flush and does not set above the throat, and apply a thin film of tightened joint lubricant. In hot, dry weather conditions, the lubricant can dry out. Especially when applied to hot pipe, it will be necessary to add a small amount of water to hydrate the lubricant. Caution: the use of spray-on lubricant is not recommended. Experience has determined that spray-on lubricant may not be sufficient to allow joint assembly without gasket displacement. 4 to 20-inch TR Flex gripper rings are made in 2 segments, while the 24 to 36-inch TR gripper rings have 4 segments. To install, remove the bolts from the TR Flex gripper ring. After removing the bolts, check that the internal threads of the gripper ring and the external threads of the bolts are clean. Apply a thin film of pipe lubricant to the threads of the bolt before proceeding with the installation. Position the TR Flex gripper ring segments into the bell locking segment cavity so that the segment handles protrude beyond the bell face. Insert the bolts into the segment handles so that the segments form a loose ring. To make assembly easier, place a spacer of some type between the ring halves. This will keep the rings separated so that the pipe slides past freely. It is important that the joint not be deflected prior to tightening the TR Flex gripper ring. If the TR Flex gripper ring is not square with the pipe as the bolts are tightened, any subsequent movement of the joint could result in loosening of the ring and possible joint separation. Lubricate the pipe spigot back to a depth equal to the gasket bulb to the back of the socket. After assembly of the spigot into the TR bell, push the TR Flex gripper ring handles to the back of the lug cavity to ensure that the ring is square with the pipe spigot before tightening of the bolts. Tighten the 5/8" torque limiting bolts with a 7/16" 12-point socket wrench. Keep the handle gaps even while alternating the tightening pattern until the caps of the bolts shear off. After the installation is complete, the joint should be fully extended by attempting to pull the joint apart. This extension removes any slack from the joint and provides assurance that the TR Flex gripper ring has been correctly installed. After extending the joint, the required joint deflection can be set. The joint should be installed with as little deflection as possible to allow for additional deflection in the event there is some movement or settling of the line after installation.